Imagine this. You deployed your application on AWS, everything works perfectly, but the next day your website is down. Do you know why? Because your IP address might be changed. And this is where most beginners make a huge mistake. In this video, I will show you how to fix this using something called Elastic IP in AWS EC2 with a live demo. Let's say your EC2 instance has a public IP. This IP is temporary. When you stop and start the instance, AWS assigns a new IP. That means your website URL will break, DNS mapping might fail, or clients cannot connect to this IP. This is a serious problem in real world applications. So what's the solution? AWS gives us something called Elastic IP. An Elastic IP is a static IP owned by our AWS account and can be attached to our EC2 instance. So think it of like public IP is a rental house and Elastic IP is like your own house. So when to use Elastic IP? To prevent the downtime required for domain mapping, that is a DNS, and for stable SSH or remote access for our EC2, and instance failover, the production level stability. So this works without DNS complexity. And when to not use an Elastic IP? Don't use for large scale systems. Don't attach many EIPs unnecessarily. Prefer load balancer or auto scaling instead. So we can create 5 Elastic IPs per region per AWS account. So this is a default limit provided by the AWS, and it is also a soft limit we can increase. So the limit is per region, not globally. So say in region Mumbai you can create 5 Elastic IPs, and also in North Virginia you can also create another 5 Elastic IPs. So the best practice here is always use Elastic IP only when required. Release unused Elastic IPs to avoid unnecessary cost, and you can prefer load balancer and Route 53 for production workloads. So why this is limited? The IPv4 addresses are limited globally, and AWS encourages best practice like load balancer, auto scaling, NAT, and private IPs. Let's have a quick demo. I have created a EC2 on my region Hyderabad. So if I do a stop and start the instance, the IP address would be changed. So I will copy the created public IP into a notepad. So this is my public IP before stop. So now I will just stop the instance. So if I start the instance again, we will be seeing a different IP now. So you can see that the IP public IP got changed. So this is the public IP. After this is where the public IP will get changed. To avoid this, there is a concept called Elastic IP. On the EC2 dashboard, on the network and security, you can find a tab called Elastic IPs. Here you can just click on allocate Elastic IP address. It will allocate a static IP address. If you need a tag, you can add it. So just I will click on allocate here, and I will name it as demo static IP. So now when a static IP is being created, so if we need to attach it to our EC2, just click on this and do action and associate Elastic IP address. Here we can choose our EC2 instance and do a associate here. So if you see in the instance, our static IP will be changed. So this is a static IP. So it is initializing. Once the status check is passed, I will do a quick stop and start of the instance and show you that the instance IP is not being changed. So I will stop the instance here. So I will start the instance again. So it is running, and if you see the IP address, it is still the same, since it is a static IP which we have associated with our EC2. So this is the power of the Elastic IP. So if we want to de-assign this Elastic IP, just go to our Elastic IPs and click on this action, disassociate Elastic IP address. This is the action that we need to do. We do so, our associated instance ID will get released, and on the instance also you can see that new public IP will be assigned. So this is a new public IP, so it has been changed. So this is how we will do create a Elastic IP and will associate with our EC2. So AWS cost us for the Elastic IP, and they usually make cost for our public IPs too. It is around 3.5 dollars per month. So always make sure that you if your Elastic IP is not being used, make sure to release the Elastic IP to avoid the unnecessary billing, and always make sure to delete the unwanted AWS resources that are running. I'll just do a quick terminate on this. Now you understand Elastic IP, but that is the real question. Where does your EC2 actually live inside AWS? How does networking really work behind the scenes? Because Elastic IP is just one piece of the puzzle. In the next video, I will break down Amazon VPC, the actual network foundation of AWS. And trust me, once you understand VPC, everything in AWS will finally make sense. So don't miss that video. If the video helped you, hit like, subscribe and comment VPC so I know you are ready for the next level. Thank you.